This is a video of our quick trip to the upper part of the Thumb in Michigan, on the East Coast at a place called Lighthouse Park in Pointe Aux Barques, Michigan, which is just near the tip of the Thumb on the East Coast overlooking Lake Huron. It was a pretty quick trip, but it was very beautiful. Got a lot of footage here of sunrises. Okay, so this weekend we're at Huron County Lighthouse Park, which is a county park up just a little bit north of Port Hope, which is near the tip of the thumb in Michigan, on the east coast of the thumb, the tip of the thumb, kind of the thumbnail. Anyhow, we first had a full hookup site that was site 61 that was kind of tucked back in with a bunch of other campers, just like row after row after row. But when we pulled in, my wife asked if we could, that looked like there was a bunch lakeside that were not taken, and he said no, they're all booked except for one, and the one site is nobody seems to like because it's far away from the electrical outlets. And we said, we'll go take a look. We got solar. If we don't need to, get on the electric, we can live with that. And it wasn't full hookup, so there's no water or sewer on this site. But they do have a dump station and a water station here. So we just went over, filled up with water, and then we came over to this site. And I mean, there's our view for the weekend. That's Lake Huron. So pretty nice view. We have an extension cable for our electric, so we did run it around all the way around the back of the campsite to our pedestal, so we don't need to rely on solar, although we could. And there's this beacon here, which, well, I guess we'll find out, at night, if that's bright or not. But and then, of course, the lighthouse is right next door. So pretty cool. Nice picnic table and fire ring and everything. And yeah, I think we're much happier with having a site like this. We're going to be able to look out at the big, beautiful Lake Huron for the next few days, and come out and sit on the side of our camper if we want and just look at the lake. And it's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be in the mid to high 70s here all weekend, so pretty nice for October 3rd. Well, I'm not totally sure why people don't like this site, because I guess you do have to have either a full solar package or a long extension cord for your power, which we have both. But you come here for the view, and it's pretty spectacular here in the morning for sure. And we are right next to the AWPAG, AWPAG, which is the all-weather precipitation accumulation gauge, which is that thing there. And then, of course, it transmits the weather data to all the ships, boats and ships at sea, and probably weather stations and whatnot. But I guess that thing is capable of measuring 1/100th of an inch of precipitation. So kind of a neat little piece of science there. Yeah, so this lot coming up is where we would have been had we decided to stay with our original reservation. It would have been right here. And let's see here. Yeah, so this is 61 where we would have been, and that's our view from here. So I think our trade up was was worthwhile. I mean, it's not a bad site. It's, you know, just a long ways away from the lake. Pretty much, you know, off into the wild blue yonder there. And I wondered why there wasn't any boat traffic or anything in here. I mean, it's a pretty nice day. But if you look over there, there's a point, and that point has a sandbar that comes off of it. And that goes way out into the water there. You know, that's about the end of it there. But then you can even see where the water changes colors. And that's the sandbar still protruding out there, but underwater. Which is probably why there's a lighthouse here. And there's just this little bench right behind our campsite. Pretty nice little spot just to hang out and enjoy. Looks like a fairly steep little climb down to the water though from here. Let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to be climbing down there. There's a little jetty over there that we could probably go walk out on, but yeah, not going to be a little cliff here. Also, apparently this is a big shipping channel. You know, people coming around the thumb here. That's a Canadian freighter. We had one of our fellow campers here came by, and we were talking, and he said he had an app that that tracks the freighters, and so you can find out which one they are and where they came from and all that kind of stuff. So this guy's actually going back to Canada, which is, you know, somewhere way over there beyond the horizon. And I thought that was maybe a tug, but I think that's just another vessel. Anyhow, he's pretty far off in the distance, and he's motoring away back home to Canada for the weekend, I think. Well, this is a pretty nice park. It's obviously it goes on for quite some distance. It's a county park, of course. It has these nice, really nice pavilions here right out. I mean, look at that one, right out on the shoreline almost. I mean, just beautiful, just a beautiful place to have, you know, a party or, you know, wedding or something like that. And then of course it just continues on and goes right back around to the lighthouse and then over to the campground. So pretty cool park. I mean, it's Friday night. You know, I guess it's probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere in there. And there's just nobody here. So, and this was the U.S. life-saving building or whatever. So the, you know, ships would run aground and people would go out and try and save people out there. U.S. life-saving service. Also, this is apparently why they need the life-saving service here. On November 8th, 9th, and 10th are 3 days remembered as the worst storm in the Great Lakes history. The storm became known as the White Hurricane, was created out of the warm air from the Gulf of Mexico and the first Arctic air from far north. These two fronts met over Lake Superior and created havoc that moved east, leaving a path of destruction that is unrivaled. The top of the tower was vibrating and shaking so hard that the winds, the top of the tower was vibrating and shaking so hard in the winds that the wick in the light kept slipping down and extinguishing. To maintain the light's presence on the lake keeper, Peter Richards Leyland, his teenage son, or the assistant keeper stayed in the tower 24/7 to assure the lamp kept burning. Before the storm left the area, there were 12 ships on the bottom, with 254 lives lost. There were many more aground or damaged. Buildings on the shoreline disappeared as if they were made of matchsticks. Piers were lost on the lakefront as the winds of 70 to 75 miles per hour, with gusts over 100, created havoc as they blew over the lakes. And then these are pictures of 8 of the ships that had 199 people who perished aboard. So that was quite a storm in 1913. Well, it's pretty funny. We're at this park along the lake shore, and so here's the loop next to us, and all of the lake front sites are booked. As you can see, they're all parked up, and then all the ones behind it, not a single person is in. So that's pretty funny. That's I don't know, it's 7 o'clock at night, so I imagine people will be rolling in over the next hour or so. But it's just funny that 0 people that will be facing away from the lake are here, but all the people with a lake view are, I mean, really, they gotta park behind their truck, so they're getting a truck view with a little bit of lake in it. But not us. We got a lake view on the side here and truck view in the front, I guess. Well, it's 7:20 in the morning, and just waiting for the sun to come up, and that'll be coming up right over there in about 12 minutes. So we'll come back then. All right, my weather app says that the sun is going to rise at 7:33, and here she comes. Well, I guess it's pretty accurate because it's 7:33. it's up. It's over the horizon. And we have a new day. I guess this is why they say to stay 10 feet back. Well, this jetty here, while I mean, it's pretty. Look at how clear that water is. This jetty has seen better days. Big sign in front of it says, use at your own risk, because, I mean, it's mostly not here. It's falling apart pretty good. It's looks like they poured some concrete in here to try and hold a little bit of it together, but I mean, it's seen better days. See, there's a big chasm here, and another one here, and then just a little chasm here. It's gone. And then it picks up way over there where she's looking over the bridge there. And there's those little cliffs, and why they say to stay 10 feet back, as you can see how the you know, ice and stuff has eroded at the you know, the edge of the wall, the breakwater, I guess, and then it just collapses inward. But you know, you can see it's just tearing away at that a little bit at a time. Okay, so here's our trailer. It's right up there in this far right-hand corner. I'm sorry, left-hand corner, I guess. I don't know how it's going to come out on the video. But there we are with the lighthouse and the water's edge, etc. Well, apparently membership day here at the lighthouse has a few wealthy patrons, since there's about, I don't know, 7 or 8 Rolls Royces of various vintages sitting here in the parking lot. I mean, nice company. Well, I'm redoing my video clip because I called them Rolls Royces, but these are Bentleys, and there is six Bentleys here at the Lighthouse Park, in various vintages. So this is probably one of the newer ones here, and then you got a couple of older ones, and then you've got this perfect, absolutely perfect Silver Cloud. I mean, the inside, everything is just immaculate. It's beautiful. Well, it feels a little bit like Exodus, because we're, you know, basically walking out into the lake here. And it, you know, looks like it's receded quite far, so there's a fair amount of distance that we can go, and you can see all the rockiness that was at one point underwater.
And this is near a little town called Grindstone City. And everywhere you go, you'll see big round, grindstones that people use to sharpen their implements. And I know there's a spot here somewhere where there's actually a bunch of them in the water still, but I thought maybe this was it. But you can clearly see this used to be underwater. Those people had built their homes on the water. And I would say the water's down 4 or 5 feet here, and it's dry, and you can walk out on it, which is quite something, actually. I mean, you could really see, we're probably 4 or 5 feet under where the water was, where the beach was. You can see a nice sandy beach back there. And we're kind of, maybe 3, 4 feet, maybe 5 feet down. Pretty low. And this is Port Austin. This is a large pier or jetty, I guess, that goes out across here and out across there. And then there's big old dockage spaces in here for boats. You can see again, though, I mean, maybe, I don't know if you can tell from with the video here, but that water is down about, I don't know, 5 or 6 feet from where the pier is built. So again, it's just a long ways away from where it used to be. And there's a whole bunch down here. A lot of the buildings are closed for the season, but lots of parking and beautiful area. So about 35 years ago, we stayed here at the Garfield Inn, which, if I recall, is just a place that President Garfield stayed at once or so. But anyhow, my parents had gotten us this for our anniversary, a weekend trip here, and so we came and used that. And town has sure changed since then, because I remember last time, well, it wasn't last time, I guess, but I remember we came here and there was absolutely nothing to do in town. Nothing. There was literally nothing. We went and ate at some not very good little diner, and I don't even think it's here anymore. And there's just a lot of tourism here these days. This is just a little roadside park up next to Port Crescent State Park. So just along M25, same route that we've been on today. And as you can see, it's a nice little turnout, sort of a day use site. Though I don't think you're required to have any pass or anything here like you are at a lot of the day use areas at the state parks. And looks like there's a nice little beach area. And what, the kind of recurring theme is the rockiness in the water. And you can see, since it's so low, rocks like that sticking up out of the water. And all the way over here, that looks like a duck boat out there. Looks like a duck blind. Because it's, which one of these things is not like the other? The thing that has all big old camouflage stuff all over it. And here I've walked just maybe 25 yards further than I was, and you can see the Nice sandy beach here. I mean, it's a nice sandy beach. And free to come here. Don't have to have a pass of any kind. And this is like right on the tip of the thumb of the mitten. So you're kind of, well, I guess there's a little bit over there that sticks out further, but then you start to come down the west coast of the thumb and the Saginaw Bay area. And then this is the turnout that we were just on, the roadside park. Just more of it. So if you want to go to the beach and you don't have a recreation pass, you just come here and you can have a picnic in the woods, or you can head on down to the beach. Well, so there's a place called Grindstone City here, and this is what they're talking about. This is what they made here. They went out and they got these big slabs of rock and turned them into grinding wheels that were used for, sharpening, industrial implements and things. And this one's a pretty good example. It's here at the Huron City Museum, which also has some historical buildings. And, that's probably, I don't know, 8 inches thick, maybe. And maybe 5.5 feet tall. So pretty big rock to make that. And then they have a really nice little view of the lake down here. Looks like there's maybe a little bench down there and a few nice shade trees along the lake shore. These are the kind of stones that they used to make the grindstones out of. And grab a big one like this and put a hole in it and make it round and uniform thickness and send it out. There's a lot of them along the shoreline here because they just keep eroding away and falling into the lake.
So Saturday night we just put together a fire and we played a game of Scrabble, and we got to see a waxing gibbous moon. And then early in the morning, I took a couple pictures from inside the trailer before we went back out to see the sunrise.
Well, it's about 10 minutes to sunrise, so time to just get out here and watch the swans in the morning. Even out there fishing. Oh yeah, he had a fish or something. I think that's as close as I can get. don't think the video does it justice. It's just starting to peek over the horizon just now.
I'm trying to figure out which lights are. Oh, yeah.
I think it's a little early.
I tell you, that time is when it's fully up, not when it's cresting. Oh wow, it's got like a double refraction going on.
Well, hopefully that's not a mushroom cloud.
Hopefully. Hey, to think positive thoughts, Todd.
Otherwise, somebody has something against Canada.
Oh wow, it comes out so much different in one form. Nope. Does not ever touch the lighthouse. Ay, chicaba.
Isn't it interesting how those clouds are just placed there for us? Because if you look to either side,
Oh yeah.
to either side, there's no clouds, just right there where they can make magic. Oh, there you have it. Sunrise on Lake Huron on October 5th, 2025.